This video is brought to you by EvangelistaSports.com, Canada's largest online soccer retailer. Be sure to use coupon code SR4U at checkout for 10% off any order of $75 or more. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you an unboxing plus on-feet video of the brand new Adidas F50 adizero miCoach 3 or adizero 5, whatever you want to call it, in the synthetic upper variation, and this is the blue Samba pack colorway. Inside the box, you do get an extra set of comfort insoles, along with the lightweight ones already included in the shoe, and I'll show you those in just a second. The insoles themselves have an adizero logo right there on the heel, a synthetic suede liner on top, and the foam this time around is a little bit better quality. It's a little bit thicker, different pattern on the underside, and for the most part, they feel a little bit better quality than past comfort insoles that we've had with the adizeros, so definite improvement there. Other than the insoles, all that's included in the box are the shoes themselves. So I'll get this box out of the way. And if you guys could take a quick second to leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. So here is a look at the brand new synthetic F50 adizero in the blue Samba pack colorway. If you guys want to check out the orange colorway from the Samba pack, I will leave an annotation on screen to that unboxing video. But as far as this colorway goes, you do have a predominantly blue upper, as you guys can see. Looks very, very good. Kind of has a metallic finish to it in person. Your white Adidas stripes with the purple accent, and then of course your orange adizero sprint pinstripe. As far as other blue accents go, the entire sprint frame, as you can see, is blue with your clear and white studs here in the front. A white Adidas logo right there on the back of the heel. And then of course the laces are orange. The tongue has this kind of fade effect where it moves into a pink and orange kind of Samba pack graphic with your blue F50 logo right there in the middle. And then of course the insole and heel liner also feature that purple and orange Samba pack coloring. And it actually says Samba 14 going across the back of the heel, as you guys can see. Now as far as the shoe itself goes, a lot has changed this time around with the adizero, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again actually, this is probably the first major redesign we've seen to the F50 series ever since it was released in 2010, and Adidas is really putting an emphasis on the synthetic model this time around as opposed to the leather version, which has generally been the more popular of the two upper variations for the F50 adizero. And like I said, this time around, I think that the synthetic model is the one to take a look at, because out of the two, from what I've seen so far, the synthetic upper variation is by far the most attractive. Now, as far as what has changed this time around, the upper is made out of two completely different materials than what we've seen in the past from Adidas, one being completely brand new, and the other one not being technically brand new, but implemented in a way that we've never seen before. Now from this seam right here going forward and cutting off at this seam right here, you have Adidas's Hybrid Touch Synthetic. This is the same synthetic material you're going to find on the top end Predator LZ2 as well as the Nitro Charge 1.0, but obviously implemented in a completely different way. It's a lot thinner than what you're going to find on those shoes, offering more of a barefoot feel. There is pretty much no extra padding to the upper whatsoever, so again, you're going to get that very thin touch on the ball, which is what I think people are looking for from the F50 series. It does have a leather grain finish on it, as you guys can see. Keep in mind though that it is a full synthetic. There's no leather on this shoe whatsoever. And not to mention that the tongue itself is 100% made from Hybrid Touch Synthetic as well, matching the rest of the thickness on the upper. As far as this little texturing you have going around the forefoot and toe box area, this is what Adidas is calling dribble text. Basically, it's a slightly rubberized coating over top of the upper that is as simple as it sounds. It's supposed to add a little bit of extra grip on the ball and really nothing more. So I'm curious to see how that is actually going to perform and if it's going to have any kind of major impact on your feel for the ball. There is also a little TPU band here going across the inside of the forefoot. Normally on past adizeros, this band would go all the way around the toe box and forefoot area, acting as one, a support band, and two, a durability kind of insurance or assurance type of thing where it would improve the bond between the sole plate and the upper. But this time around on the new adizero, you can see they've chosen to go with only putting this TPU band right here at the base of the forefoot on the inside. Now moving to the back half of the upper, that is where you're going to find the brand new material from Adidas. It's called Speed Foil, and as of right now, it's not really something that they've implemented in a way that's going to be making touches on the ball. It's more so a material that is designed to one, look really cool, which I think they've done successfully, and two, be very lightweight, and three, provide a nice amount of support while still keeping the weight of the shoe down. And I think that they've done that successfully. especially with this brand new speed foil material. You can see that it is semi-translucent with my finger kind of showing through there. Basically, it's constructed almost similarly to Nike Skin, but it's not at all the same in terms of how it feels. It looks like there is a mesh base layer, as you guys can see, and then they fuse layers of synthetic material, some form of plastic, I would assume, over top of this mesh layer to make for what they call speed foil synthetic. And this speed foil synthetic is not very soft, it's fairly rigid, to be completely honest with you guys, but it's there to serve a purpose of kind of maintaining the back half of the shoe, making sure that your heel is locked in and preventing any kind of stretching, and I think it will do that very successfully. It feels very solid, it's not fragile in any way, shape, or form, and overall, like I said, it looks very cool and I think works well with the whole lightweight Adizero theme. So very cool material, and I'm excited to see how it actually does perform. You do have a central lacing system, as you guys can see, the exact same cut in the ankle as well as in the heel area for the F50 adizero. The heel liner is a completely smooth synthetic leather material, but I have to say that there is a more padding in the heel than we've seen in past adizeros. So again, comfort shouldn't be too much of an issue, if not an issue at all. Remove the insole really quickly to get a look at that. This is, of course, the lightweight insole to go along with the comfort insoles that I already showed you guys a little bit earlier. Has your Adizero branding right there on the heel. Then, of course, that Samba pack pattern going throughout the top of the insole. The insole itself is pretty much identical to past lightweight insoles. Exact same foam perforations all throughout. A little bit of a different pattern here at the bottom, but for the most part, it's pretty much exactly the same as what I said earlier, all of the lightweight insoles we've seen so far. As far as the sprint frame itself goes, we have seen a little bit of a redesign here, and it's not so much of a redesign as much as it is more of a going back to what we had before. Adidas had changed, the heel counter was a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, and had more of a geometric kind of shape to it, whereas now you can see they've gone back to that round design. It's a little bit lower cut. And to me, that's really not going to make too much of a difference in terms of the overall performance. It's still made from the same plastic and still feels nice and rigid, which is always a good thing. You're going to get that lockdown supportive feel, as well as a little bit of added protection at the back of the heels, which is always nice. And then, of course, you move on to the stud pattern, which is where we're seeing the major change. One thing that I want to quickly mention is that the miCoach bubble is still there. So if you do have the miCoach chip, you can slot it in the midfoot and go about your day. The heel studs have not changed at all. As you guys can see, you have your two triangular studs at the back, and then your two triangular studs a little bit ahead of them, both varying in size, as you guys can see. This time around, the pattern, or the plastic, sorry, is clear as opposed to a solid color. But other than that, nothing has changed. What has changed, though, is the stud pattern in the forefoot, which I'm kind of excited about and really curious to see how it's going to perform. They've gone away with this type of triangle style stud, and they've gone with a different shape of triangle. None of the edges are completely smooth, and you have some longer edges, so I'm assuming that this is going to provide a little bit more in the way of grip when pushing off in comparison to these triangular studs, and they should penetrate the ground more easily because they do have a more narrow profile about them. And overall, I'm excited to see how this is going to perform. I thought it was kind of interesting that they have an angled support stud at such an extreme angle, and I'm very, like I said, just curious to see how this is actually going to perform, and from the looks of it, it's going to perform pretty good. One little thing that Adidas kind of took from Nike, at least from what I can tell so far, is this little kind of bubble they have at the front. It's kind of like a little tooth, similar to what you're going to find on shoes like the Nike Tiempo Legend, or even those little bumps they have on the Nike Mercurial Vapor 9. Kind of a cool little addition there. It's not so much copying as just kind of using a similar concept, and it's something that I think is not necessarily going to make a major change in terms of how the shoe feels, but it's something that can't hurt when it comes to traction at the end of the day. So a nice little addition by Adidas that I think a lot of people may or may not notice. So we'll take that all into consideration, and you have pretty much, like I said, a brand new shoe. It's unlike any of the past Adizeros, and there really is a lot to take in this time around. So that's pretty much it as far as all the technical specifications for this shoe goes. And move on next to a quick weigh-in so you can get a better idea as to how lightweight these guys are. Perhaps the main feature that really makes the F50 adizero series so popular is the lightweight construction of the shoe, and that hasn't changed with the brand new F50 adizero. Adidas is touting this as the lightest design they've ever put out, and for the most part it is. It's very light both in hand and on feet, almost weightless just because of how well balanced this shoe is, but in comparison to past synthetic F50 adizeros, the difference in weight is not going to be noticeable either in hand or on feet. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. Going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that these guys weigh in at 5.8 ounces, which is a little bit less, ever so slightly less, like 0.1 ounces less than previous synthetic adizero. So again, the difference in weight is very, very minor and not something that you're going to notice on feet. But nonetheless, if you are looking for an ultra lightweight soccer shoe, one of the lightest ones you can get your hands on, the F50 adizero is a very, very solid option. So that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion of this video. And move on next to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and what the sizing is like. Alright, here's a look at the adizeros on feet, and just based on first impressions, this is a huge improvement in every way in comparison to any of the past synthetic adizeros. The Hybrid Touch synthetic feels a lot softer and more flexible from right out of the box. They fit a lot tighter, and because of that, they have a much slimmer profile than previous adizeros. So if you do have really wide feet, this probably isn't going to be the best option for you, but definitely a very wearable shoe from right out of the box. And based on the softness and flexibility of the Hybrid Touch synthetic, I would expect it to stretch and expand a little bit, but for the most part, don't expect the overall shape of the shoe to change all that much from the way it fits from brand new anyways. In terms of width, like I mentioned, it is a little bit slimmer than previous adizeros. It does have a central lacing system, and for the most part, the tightest area of the shoe is definitely going to be the midfoot, whereas the toe box and forefoot area I would say is about average in width, but still has that slimmer, tighter fit about it. In terms of sizing, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is pretty much perfect. It is fairly snug, so if you want that really tight fit, I would definitely recommend staying true to size. Whereas if you want something with perhaps a little bit more wiggle room, you can safely go a half size up without them feeling too sloppy. But that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion of this video goes, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing of the F50 adizero, the brand new F50 I should say. And I have to say that there is a lot of promising change to this series of soccer shoes. The new Hybrid Touch synthetic upper is really nice. I like the addition of speed foil. I'm a really big fan of this new stud pattern. I like how it looks. And of course, it feels just as light as all the other adizeros, but fits a lot better, which is a really important change, at least in my eyes, for this particular series. So again, I'm going to get to wearing these as soon as possible and expect to see a playtest video coming very, very shortly, followed by my full written review, which should be up in the next 2 weeks or so. In the meantime, if you guys would like some more information on the new F50, be sure to check out the review page on my website, soccerreviewsforyou.com. There will be a direct link down below in the description. On that review page, you will find some high-quality images of both this colorway as well as the orange colorway that'll give you a better idea as to how the shoe actually does look in person, along with buy it now links with the best prices online, including exclusive SR4U coupon codes to get yourself some additional discounts if you are interested in ordering a pair. If you guys do have any questions regarding the shoe or any suggestions for videos you would like to see that have to do with the new F50, be sure to leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.